Hi, Facebook world. It's Brandy and Shannon, and we're the co-founders of the Thriving Relationship. Here we are tonight for our Tuesdays with Thriving, where we just like to spend a little bit of time on the Facebook world and any of our followers, just picking a topic and kind of trying to help us all have a little bit of better relationship, a little more thriving relationship, with some tips, tricks, and ideas for just making it a little bit better. Yeah, so today, what are we talking about, Shannon?
Today, the holidays are coming. The holidays. So I am starting to hear about it as couples come into the room this week that Halloween's tomorrow and then Thanksgiving's right around the corner. And everyone's starting to make decisions about where they're going, get the financial stressors of the gifting season.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes holidays are just a really difficult time for a whole host of reasons.
Yeah. There's so many different reasons. I've got couples coming in, and there's first holidays without their parents. Parents that have passed on, or just there's so many reasons that holidays can be so stressful.
Yeah, they're exciting I always laugh in my family. I'm like the elf. Like, I get really excited.
You are the Christmassy person.
I am.
The holiday person. Her house is all decked out.
I love it. But then my sister, if she jumps on, she'll hear me badmouth her online. My sister Erin, she's the Grinch. And so there's always this like, I want you to play with me. I want to do the holidays.
Bah humbug.
She's like,
bah humbug. No. Take your ribbons and shove it.
Yeah, that's exactly what she told me. Although rude, more rude.
Oh. That's what sisters are for.
So we wanted to just go through some tips that we think might be helpful as you navigate holiday season with your person.
Yeah.
A lot of us have a lot of pressure from, family. Everybody wants to spend holidays together. So once you are in relationship, you've got two different families that you are bringing together. So a lot of decisions on where you're spending the holidays. Are you hosting the holidays? And a lot of times people feel very lost as to what to actually do, which direction to go.
Right. I know.
Tension.
Yeah. In my family, like Shannon was saying that, sometimes there's two different places to go. Well, my parents married for sport, and they know that I lovingly say that. Just kidding, kind of. But my parents are both remarried, and so actually, like, I have two different places just on my own side of the family to try and be. And so that really gets challenging.
Right.
I have a little boy who's desperately trying to get my attention. Hey, nope, you promised. Okay, head on out.
Oh, okay, we're good now.
Thanks.
So even more so than having two families, you've got.
Yeah. So there's lots of different, just on my own side, there will be times of guilt of like, am I going to my mom's? Am I going to my dad's? Let alone trying to talk to my husband and decide if we're even going to include his family into where we're going for the holidays.
Right.
So that can be really, for me, it's been really stressful for the first part of our marriage. Now I feel a little more laid back about it. But that takes us into really the first tip that we wanted to talk about is really just deciding, what do you guys want to do? Where do you guys want to spend the holidays? And if the guilt and all of that all those layers of things that get laid on weren't there, what would you and your person, what would you do for the holidays?
Yeah, it's like the magic wand question. If you could take out all the stressors, if you could take out, if, and you weren't worried about so-and-so's feelings, like what would you as a couple choose to do for your holidays? Great, it would be, set aside stressors for a minute and have a conversation. It'd be interesting to find out what you actually would it be a cabin in the woods? Would it be on the beach? Would it be with X number of people? Are you hosting? What are you doing?
Yeah. So we start there and then we build, right? From there, once you guys kind of have a good idea of like what really is important to you, then have those boundaries in place. Right? If we're on the same page, here goes the right. Yeah.
It's really awkward
hard.
Conversation.
Yeah. How do we then kind of support each other in still keeping those boundaries in place? When all the families are inviting you over to, everyone wants you at Thanksgiving dinner and at Christmas dinner, and of course they always start at the same time, and really how many turkey dinners can you eat in one day? I've eaten 3 before, trying to please everybody.
That's really.
Yeah. So when you feel like you're on the same page, though, it's easier to support each other when those other things pop up.
I think that being able to have each other's back, so having that conversation, actually making a decision that you can both support.
Yes.
And there's going to be some compromise in there. You're not obviously going to have it either just your way or his way.
Right.
But it's, okay, for Thanksgiving, let's do it more this direction. For
Yeah.
Christmas, let's do it more this direction. So you have some control, some ability to support instead of feeling like you're just always along for the ride.
Absolutely.
Because that leads to a lot of contention.
Yeah. And if it's wonderful when we have lots of family that we all want to be able to spend it with, right? And sometimes that's a challenge, is we do really want to be everywhere, but I do want to see his family and I do want to see my family and I don't want anyone to be excluded. And so, I have in-laws that I can think of that they alternate. And so on even years they spend, Thanksgiving with her family, and on odd years they spend it with his family, or they find ways to make compromises, so that we have something to rely on. We have to have that conversation.
We bounce between, this year it's the Johnson Thanksgiving and the Loudy Christmas.
Yes.
So we bounce between.
Yeah.
But the important piece too is that make a little plan as you go into holidays. If you know that, like, I just need a little space, can I send up a little red flag and say, I need to go for a walk, that you're going to take the kids so I can go do that.
Yeah.
Or some people choose to maybe stay in their own place if they're traveling, like stay in a hotel for a little bit of space. So all of that, have those conversations beforehand and make a plan to be able to support each other.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not even just where are we going to be, but maybe the people we're going to be around. I mean, a lot of the times, let's be honest, a lot of the things we talk about in therapy, are from
difficult relationships
with our own family, right? And so when we better understand that about ourselves and our partner, it can help us be able to be more supportive if we know that, creepy Uncle so-and-so just walked in and don't let the kids be around him, or oh, this is really stressful, my sister just showed up and we're kind of in a family feud or something like that, right? When we understand those things, that it makes it easier to be supportive of each other and kind of understand what's going on.
So have little signals.
Yeah. There's just there's lots of things about boundaries and supporting each other that you can kind of have conversations about.
Yeah. So step 1, what's your dream? What do you really want? Step 2, how do we set the boundaries? Step 3, you've got to really stay away from bad mouthing each other's relatives.
Yes.
It's just I can say anything I want to about my sisters, but Brad can't.
Right. Yes. It's
not
so
that
true.
you would ever say anything.
No. Yeah. And I've caught it in our in me and Brandon's marriage. There's been times where we're venting even about our own family, and sometimes it feels like, well, I'm just trying to be supportive, right? But I've learned that lesson the hard way, and that is you just don't
stay away,
right? You don't take the other side's team, but you just be supportive of your partner if they're going through struggles. With the in-laws.
Be very gentle with the words that you use. The descriptive words, the critical words, just stay away from that.
Yeah. And then
the final tip was, how do you actually make things meaningful? So traditions that are important to you, maybe you have things that have been passed down from generation to generation, but maybe there's something new that you want to do, that you want to start with your own kids, or you want to start as a couple. So trying to figure out what would make Thanksgiving really meaningful, what would make Christmas really meaningful. It could be hot chocolate. So we're not talking huge things, but something that's yours that makes it special.
Yeah, have those conversations. It amazes me how many times, couples come in and part of the reason the holidays are so stressful is because they just grew up so differently about what was tradition. Some families open a present Christmas Eve and some families don't open any, my family now opens almost everything Christmas Eve, my extended family, I should say.
It's funny when the kids bounce back and forth. Wait, we can only...
We really can open what? It has to be the jammas? I don't want to open the jammas tonight, right? Yeah. So, if you haven't had those conversations, let's have a conversation where we just try to understand, what is it that you grew up in? What was the holidays like for you when you grew up? And, what did you like about that? What didn't you like about that? Right? Because not always in what we grew up in do we still want to do that. Sometimes, sometimes what we grew up with is what's familiar, and so we want to carry that on. But
yeah,
it's just an opportunity to decide what will the traditions be in your house, right? And when you can do that as a couple together, you're going to find more satisfaction than when we're trying to force, like, this is what I did, and so this is what we're going to do, and we've got some resistance, and maybe there's ways to incorporate a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's interesting just how much pressure everyone feels to do it a certain way versus like what if you really look at what do we want to do? It's different,
right? Yeah. All right. I'm not sure. We've got maybe one person with us.
It's a sleepy night. We were sleepy tonight.
Right. Yeah. Seriously. So not very many questions tonight. That's okay. If questions come up, things you want to share, please don't hesitate to share those in the thread. You know, a lot of times we find that people watch these videos later on, and hopefully that's what you're doing right now, even if you're not here live with us. So please don't hesitate to
we love
still share information here.
Hop on and interact. So don't. Yes, we both have our phones, so we'll be with you quickly.
Yeah. If you like what you see here, we do offer an online workshop that you and your partner are able to just purchase online and do kind of in the privacy of your own home. There's a lot more information on our website, which is ShannonKayJohnson.com. Look for the tab that says Online Thriving Workshop. All right. Well, hope you have a wonderful Halloween.
Yes, here we go.
And we'll see you next Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, what do you do if your spouse won't wear? Oh my gosh, that's my husband. He's such a dork.
You have a lot of help tonight.
You buy curtains. You buy lots of curtains. All right. Good night.